You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance because you tuned in consciously and conscientiously to the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, known as the Ambassador of Joy. Notice I didn't say the Ambassador of Joy. The Ambassador of Joy. And you tuned in for one reason only. It's the best reason in the whole world. And it's really going to help you today. You tuned in because you care the most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U. And that's great because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, you create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And thank you for recommending this show to your family and friends. Right now, we're over 513,820 people around the world, and about 25,000 people every week are coming on. So we'll be over 1 million this year. And I urge you to share this with 5 people. You want to share with 50 or 100? That's great also, but at least 5. 5 people share this with so we can touch 1 million plus people, because every time we're doing something, it's of benefit to you and the people that you love the most. And today, especially because we're talking about money. I'll spell that. M-U-N-Y. Money. Well, get ready, buckle up, because in this show, we discuss the 3 fundamentals of life. And the result of these 3 fundamentals are that you will be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? Now, the first fundamental of life is, number 1, your life has purpose. You lead a purpose-driven life. Number 2 happens. In this case, good number 2. You go MAD. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. This show is carried over the internet. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And if you ask anybody, what does WWW stand for? Invariably stands to do with the internet. And factually speaking, they're correct. However, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for what a wonderful world. And what is the word, right? WHETA. Of course, a tip of the hat and a big thank you to Louis Armstrong, Satchmo, for enabling that song, What a Wonderful World, to go viral and touch not just tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people on the planet. And every time you hear the word, the opening bars of what a wonderful world, what do you do right away? You can't help but you smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you could ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life, because SMILE is an acronym. It stands for Seeing Miracles in Life Every Day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Let me tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine, if you can, I'm standing up in the morning, completely healthy and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed from my neck down, called being a quadriplegic. And it was not the result of an automobile accident or a spinal injury. It was a rare disease, which I never heard of the day before, took over my body and rendered me completely, totally paralyzed. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't move. I was in a hospital. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, my hips to my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. Can't walk up a stair by myself. Can't walk over a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant all becomes with one word. And the word is smile. Seeing miracles in life every day. I got to tell you, I am privileged to speak to millions of people every month because of my podcasts. Also, I do some in-person events. Recently, I spoke to a group here locally, 1,127 people, telling the story about Barry Shore. And some people raise their hand right away and say, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours already. I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can build you that. You have water to drink, you have food to eat, you have a place to sleep, you have family, you have friends. Every single one of those is a miracle. What's the proof? Simple proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or listening, you didn't. Therefore, we have an obligation to live life to the full with exuberance. Now, before we bring on our amazing guest, Doc Holliday, that should tickle some people right away. Before we bring on wonderful Doc, I just want to make mention about something that happened recently. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me. She says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about it. Smile, sound the same. Why not? I asked her how come. She says, because that would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of an 8-year-old. What was she doing? Creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a wonderful acronym. It stands for causing rethinking. You're going to learn a lot about this, and it's great. Enabling all to excel. That's what CREATE. Now, we're talking about a shift in perspective. Tiny shift in perspective. Now, I've been working with people for almost 5 decades. And I can tell you, on paper, they look like they're great. And they come to me, what they've done is they drop the F in shift. And the other stuff is happening in their life. You got to keep your F and F's in place. Shift your perspective just a little bit, and you can internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. These are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine your path in life and your trajectory. So I'm going to warn everybody in advance. I use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word, and I do it because of shock value and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use because we live in the world of positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant are love, life, hope, play, free, gift, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, that's right. F-U, capital N, capital N. Now, some people raise their hand right and say, Barry Shore, fun's only spelled with 3 letters, not in our world. The world of positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. So after the show, you see a family and friends, twinkle in your eyes, smile on your face, point your fingers, say, F you, everybody. You got their attention. Now you can say, what's talk about? Wait till you share with them what Doc is going to share with us. Before we bring on amazing Doc, I just want to urge everybody, plead with you to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. And you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. And these 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. Kind is a fabulous word that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. Ain't nobody that I want to share with you that inspires noble deeds more than wonderful, fabulous Doc Holliday. Hey, Doc, please say hello to 519,722 people around the world.
Good day to everybody. How's it going there, Barry?
Well, what do you think, Doc? How's it going?
Oh, any better not be twins, my friend. It's a great day.
You're loving it so far?
It's Free Money Friday. It's the best day of the week. We've been handing it out all morning. It's a great day. I'm loving to take a pause here to come chat with you guys and share with your audience, and let's have some fun.
Well, let's have FUNN, and we're going to have a lot of fun with MUNY. So some people scratch hands and say, what are you talking about, Barry? Money is spelled MONEY. Okay, fine. You want to be so pedantic. MUNY, money. Everybody knows what money is, or they think they do. And what Doc, the reason I have Doc on, by the way, and if I told you all the things that he's accomplished, take the rest of the show. I'm just going to tell you 3 things. He's a wonderful fellow in the sense that he knows what he's talking about because he's lived it. He's gone from boom to bust, back to boom, because he put himself together and turned a hobby into an obsession. And he understands now how to work with the stock market, the American stock market, in such a way that you will make money. Just be patient, perseverant, listen to what you're going to be taught. And we're not going to go into all the details today. And the result is you'll make money. Now, the other thing I like about Doc is that he's a real human being. He's married, he has kids, and he has a mission. He wants everybody to be as successful as he is. He knows it can happen. It's, again, a matter of learning techniques, sticking to them, and following through. And I think that's a safe way to begin. Is that correct, Doc?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so Doc Holliday, for those who don't know, is one of the great names of what we used to call the Wild West. We don't want to call it the Wild West anymore. We'll call it Western United States when it was still in its infancy. And if you're watching and you're seeing the avatar of Doc Holliday, you say, wow, that's really cool. And if you're only listening to his voice, you say, he's real cool. Who's he? He's Will Cooper. He is Will Cooper. So Will, let's just jump right in and talk about what we're talking about, which is money. And let's discuss the following. You ready?
Fire away.
You mentioned to me when we had our initial call about the power of the stock market, which I think everybody knows. How you're talking about the enormous, gigantic numbers of items in the stock market, and then about the ability to make money in the stock market, which is hidden in plain sight. Now, for those of you who like words like I do, that's called hips. And we're all hipsters in this program. Hips, hidden in plain sight, transforms everything remarkably. That's a hipster. How do you like that, Will?
I love it. I love it. And it feeds into, what we teach in the group and about awareness. But absolutely, the market itself is this huge behemoth of an opportunity that's hidden right in plain sight. You hear about it, you see it in the news. Many of you got 401ks or some form of retirement investment. You're engaged to some level, and you hear the conversations, but you yourself don't know per se how to dive in, how to take advantage of that, or what the real opportunity is. We've from kids on, you're taught to grow and push yourself for opportunity, whether it's sports or academics, and then onward into careers and work and life. And many of us choose different degrees or different pathways that we think are going to give us hopefully a career or a lifestyle that will ultimately allow us to take care of a family and hopefully see some form of retirement, some travel, and some enjoyment in our life before all we get to do is sit on the front porch and watch the grandkids have fun with the last of our money. And man, when you get to the market, it really changes the paradigm where, you go to school, you go invest in a great degree. And, if you're really great in your profession, you make 250,000, do a little better, make $500,000. If you're a top level CEO or top level in your performance, you make $1 million a year. You've got entrepreneurs and business owners that will exceed that. You come to the market and I start trying to, it changes the numbers of what you're doing here. It does. So just one ETF, there's thousands of stocks out there, and money markets and commodities and everything moving. But just one ETF alone, the SPY, moving against the S&P 500, we're looking at an average of $40 billion that will exchange hands in 6.5 hours every day. $40 billion. And when you come across that, it just goes back to the old saying, Grandpa said, go where the money is, buy low and sell high. And so when you get here and you find $40 billion moving every day, for a person like myself who's always been looking for opportunity, it'll grab your attention. And after perfecting that over time, it gets to the point where what you used to work a year to make as a salary is now you're able to earn that in a day. What used to take you a whole year, you can now earn that in a day. You can make 6 figures in a day, no problem. I could teach 10,000 members of your audience to make $100,000 a day. At least 10,000 people make $100,000 a day, and Wall Street wouldn't even know we were playing the game.
Okay,
and that shifted my mind. I was like, whoa,
one moment.
Whoa, we can help a lot of people with this, not just Doc.
Doc, let me put you on pause for a moment because this is a fire hose. Let's unpack a few things for people worldwide. So before I ask a question that is really coming up here, I want to make mention of what Doc just said. let's understand something. You can do three things in life. You can work for someone else, a company or something else. You can work for yourself. You can work for money. Now, if you're working for someone else, I can tell you right away from my perspective, and we talk about it in this show very often, you are missing the opportunity called life. Even if you think you're working for someone else, working in an organization, a company has 500 employees, 1,000, 2,000, 100,000, doesn't matter. You need to know you're an entrepreneur. You're working for yourself. So therefore, now that you know that you're working for yourself, you need to understand how to leverage your time, because that's what Doc is teaching, going to be talking about. Leverage
ROI.
your time to be able to make money. Now, my uncle, who was, thank God, very wealthy when I was growing up, he taught me something at a young age. I was 11 when he first taught me this. He said, my dear beloved nephew, he liked to call me that. My dear beloved nephew, I'm going to tell you something about money. So everybody talks about money, let's be blunt. 11-year-old, I was talk about money. Everybody likes to talk about it. Very few people know anything about it. He did. And he said, money is an absolute wonderful servant. It is a god-awful master. So if you are running after money, it becomes your master. If you understand how to earn it as a residual, just by utilizing your time and your brain, it becomes your servant. And one of the reasons that I'm so happy that Doc is with us today is because that's what he's talking about. Before we unpacked, he was talking about the ability to make $100,000 in a day. Right, Doc?
Absolutely. Every day. That opportunity exists Monday through Friday, every day that the stock market goes ding. Um, but to back up there a little bit, you're absolutely right. It's about your time. It's about ROI. Everything we're doing, whether it's working at a career, working for a charity, at the church, in the schools, it's an effort towards a reward. And in life, where can you apply your effort to get the best bang for your buck? And investing in yourself is always going to be your wisest investment. It's the only asset that you always have. And learning skills like this that can become passive. And like it said, it started for me. It was a hobby that turned into an obsession. Okay. I had my career, I had businesses going. This was a hobby. This was something that slowly became an obsession as the opportunity revealed itself. Um, so for anybody out there, anywhere in life, if you're looking to learn a skill, there's nowhere else to look. If we look at learning languages, we look at learning new hobbies, we want to go do things and explore. How do you fuel your passions in life? It all takes, like you say, money. It takes money. No matter where you want to go and do, you're going to need a little money to get there. So if you can make an extra $500 a day on your phone on the way to go do what you want to do, let's pay for it en route. Let's go. I've got a gentleman out west right now, 70 years old, who just this morning in the feed, he made $600 on his phone traveling to work, 70 years old, And so those are the things that I love, the ability to be able to share this with individuals that, my obsession was personal. It was selfish. I wanted to go be wealthy and make a bunch of money. That's what I've been working through in life. And then once I found this, it was like you kind of feel a little guilty almost when you can make that kind of money in a day and you see all the people around you struggling. It's not because they're not working hard or making good decisions. It's just at the level that the game they're playing, no matter how hard they work, that's the max they can get out of it. And they're barely getting by. And so started helping one, and now we're just helping everybody. It stormrolled in the last 3 years.
Okay, let's unpack something here. First of all, everything that we're going to be discussing is in the show notes. You don't throw anything down. There's no formulas, no websites. It's all in the show notes. So just be aware that lean in and experience.
And at the end of the show, we'll give them a couple of juicy tips that no matter what happens in their life, if they go explore the market on their own with or without us, they'll be better off for it. We'll give them some juicy notes at the end.
Okay. Now, here's a quick question because we have a worldwide audience. Is it only for people in the United States?
No, I'm currently teaching students from 18 to 80 years old in 6 countries right now.
Okay. So wait a minute. Let's hold right here. There's more Doc on the other side of this brief message. We have sponsors that love the show. We wouldn't have them on. We didn't think they're worthy of your time and attention. We'll be right back with more Doc Holliday right after this brief message. Don't go away.
Hello, skincare connoisseurs. If you think you have tried everything in skincare, you are going to love what I am about to tell you. I'm pharmacist Benjamin I. Fuchs. I'm a dermatology pharmacist. And what I've discovered in my compounding pharmacy after decades of working with patients with skin traumas and skin diseases is the missing link in skincare is topical essential nutrition. And because of this missing link, we're not maximizing the potential of topical skincare. We're leaving skin beauty and skin health on the table. And that's why I formulated my Truth Treatments. Listen, the skin's an organ. It needs and wants and craves nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and plant-derived minerals, and now it can get them in super high concentrations in my Truth Treatments. Originally formulated for dermatologists and their patients, now they're available to you. Check them out today at truthtreatments.com, and I know you are going to love the truth.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Every good-looking Joe is looking for and finding the good. Found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. His name is Will Cooper, a.k.a. Doc Holliday, the gunslinger. This way, what is he slinging for? Your productivity, your ability to multiply whatever you do in life. No matter how much you're making, you can make more, faster, better, in an easier way by listening to what Doc has to say. Okay, welcome back, Doc. Let's just jump right in and talk about, before we go into specifics of how it works, let's talk about what really matters in life, which we talked about at the beginning of the show, how you become happier, healthier, and wealthier. We'll call it health, wealth, and fun. The three pillars of what we do here is to become happier, healthier, and wealthier. How does that work with your world?
Well, it's almost like you walked into class. So my students would all echo that. So the three pillars of my community is health, wealth, and fun. If it doesn't make us healthier, wealthier, and a ton of fun, we don't talk about it. And we keep a very clean house. It's a family-oriented deal. And like you said, but right before the commercial, we're engaged with students across the world in 6 countries right now, and it's cultivating and becoming quite an amazing environment. But to see that this can reach anybody at any age, at any skill set, male or female, we've had the ability to impact them and change their lives. And so now it's like we're at a crossroads of how do you go forth and pay that forward and share it. And that's what we're here today. We're sharing that and paying that forward. And we're opening up our community to others. But it is amazing to see what the world, everybody out there struggling. We think it's only at home. We think just our daily woes of life and bills and health and all these things is just a local problem. And that's the beauty behind this. No matter where you are in the world, mother, father, the age group right now is, like I said, 18 to 80. I'd say the middle range, that's in their 40s, and they're all showing the same thing. Midlife, you got bills, you got mortgages, you got kids, some are going to colleges, you got weddings, you got health bills, you've got in-laws that are now got stuff you got to consider moving in. What you thought was a good retirement was going to be okay. Inflation now says not as enough, and now you need a new skill. And here it is. And now for nothing, we can teach you how to make $1,500 a day on your phone, like that 70-year-old we got in Nevada right now doing it. And that's like, man, this is powerful.
Okay, 1 second. Let's put on pause. Let's unpack a lot of stuff here. So Doc and his community are focused on health, wealth, and fun. Same thing, healthier, wealthier, happier, and wealthier. Let's discuss something you just mentioned here, and it's truly vital. Everybody that's listening, everybody, and we've got people all around the world. Everybody wants to live in America. And I say almost every time, it's really not what you want. Yes, it'd be great to live here. It's the greatest country, I believe, in the world and in the world history. What you really want is the American mindset. And that is what Doc, I believe, is sharing with us. Doc is talking to us about what is the American mindset. There is something called the stock market. Now, you specifically work with the S&P 500. Is that correct, Doc?
That's correct. Keep it simple, keep it repeatable, and keep it profitable.
Simple, repeatable, profitable, SRP. Simple, repeatable, profitable, SRP. The issue that we're dealing with here is that when you become involved in a $40 billion enterprise, because that's really what you're doing. You're entering into a $40 billion enterprise. You've raised your hand, you submitted your application, and you've been accepted to participate and to work in this $40 billion enterprise. There aren't that many in the world that are that large. And again, just to be clear, $40 billion in the S&P is not even, maybe only 2 or 3% of what the total stock market is in the United States. But that's beside the point. You are now working, you're employed in a $40 billion enterprise.
A day, $40 billion a day.
$40 billion a day, and you are welcomed to participate and reap the benefit. I want to make people understand here. What we're not talking about is speculation, is gambling. That we're not talking about that. We're talking about simple, repeatable, profitable. So let's go.
And let's pause there. It works every day, regardless of the market events, whether up or down. This is an everyday deal. This is a day trade. We do not hold these overnight. You're not going to wake up wealthier or poorer the next day. You don't have to go to bed at night and stress. This is basically, we have a $40 billion a day river moving for 6.5 hours. And I teach my students how to stick their cup in the river and fill it up every day. Just stick your cup in the river. You need a little money, stick your cup in the river, say thank you. Take the free money and say thank you. And so that's what we do.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's reiterate something. Do you remember, Doc, before I welcomed you, I urge everybody to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day. Remember those 2 words?
I do. Thank you. That's
Right.
our protocol, baby. That's our protocol. Take the free money and say thank you. I repeat it 100 times a day. Those who say thank you more have more to say thank you for. And we have such a blessing and opportunity here that when you have $40 billion, that it moves in a fixed manner. It has to move this way. It has to do these things. And if you're simply patient and you enter and exit at these key levels, you make money every single time, every day. And as you get more competent, it builds and builds. But you can stick your cup in the river right now and go get a free $100. You don't even know. You could get started right now, and by the end of the week, be sticking your cup in, going down the road or on your coffee break at work and get an extra $100. And by next month, you just need a bigger cup. And that's the power of this river.
Okay,
That's why we go with the flow and we say thank you.
Go with the flow and say thank you. So I want to say thank you to you, Doc, for doing 2 things right now. One is being on the show. Actually, 3 things. One is being on the show. Thank you. Number 2 is to provide everybody with a visualization. It is really important to be able to, in the words of one of my great mentors, verbalize, visualize, emotionalize. We call it VVE. Verbalize, visualize, emotionalize. What you've been able to do so far is verbalize. What you just gave us now with the river analogy is to visualize. Most everybody in the world either has been to or lives near a large river. And in America, it's easy to think of the Mississippi. Now, you don't have to have been to the Mississippi to know that the Mississippi River is one of the largest moving bodies in the world. Rivers do not stagnate. By definition, they're moving, they're regenerating all the time. And as you mentioned, Doc, what you're able to show people and teach people, emotionalize, is the ability to put your cup into the river and bring it out and taste the sweet waters of success. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Every day. And everybody deserves to feel the joys of winning as well. But it's a river. And like all rivers, they swell and the tides run out. but the river never runs dry. It flows every day. That river flows every day. And as long as you're patient and you're disciplined and consistent, that river will take care of you, which is why people have built civilizations all along them every day and for thousands of years. And now you've got a $40 billion river in your pocket that's moving every day. It's been doing it for decades. You didn't even know it. And now you got to figure out how to open it up, unbox it, and stick your cup in that river.
So let's talk about the three things you just mentioned, the PDS, patient, deliberate, and what was the S? I'm trying to remember right now.
Say that again.
You were saying that people need to be patient, deliberate,
Disciplined.
and deliberate, patient, disciplined, and it was an S, something else, successful. Okay, we'll use that. Patient and disciplined are the real keys, are they not?
That's it. And at the end of the day, the only thing that separates us all in life is our discipline and desire. What are we disciplined enough to obtain? And that determines how bad we desire it in life. What are we willing to sacrifice to go to the next level or to do something else? Are we willing to give up the sodas to lose a few pounds? Are we willing to read and learn something to gain financial freedom? Are we willing to put in the extra work to get the promotion at the job that we currently have? Where are we going to put our discipline and desires to go anywhere? Or do we just sit? So discipline, desire separates us all. And then when you get to the market, you just have to be patient and deploying that discipline.
So this is, I want to emphasize.
And patience pays. That patience, so you love to spell word. Patience is P-A-Y. Patience. Patience pays.
Wait a minute. I want everybody to hear what Doc just said again. So, and if you want to be pedantic, patience is spelled P-A-T-I-E-C-I-E-N-C-E. Patience.
That's right.
What Doc just shared with us is so fun. And again, that's part of the community, health, wealth, and fun. Patience, P-A-Y. Patience will pay you to be disciplined. And discipline is not harsh. It's actually a lot of fun. The more disciplined you are, the more that you will get rewards. In this case, talking about money, M-U-N-Y, money. And when you start spelling it that way, and I urge people to think that way and start spelling it that way, you know why? Because it will tickle you. And the more happy you are, the more ability you have to be patient with the PAY and understand that the discipline is fun, because as Doc says, when you can put your cup into the river every day and with just pick a small number, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, whatever the number is that to you is not intimidating initially, then the reality is that it becomes bigger and stronger, and so do you. You don't become Arnold Schwarzenegger overnight. It takes a process of time. But that's okay. That's the whole reason to be alive.
Crawl, walk, run. Crawl, walk, run. That's the process. You know, you come in, you're a baby, you're an infant, you start bobbling along, you start crawling, and the next thing you know, walking, boom. You've seen it. Everybody's seen your children. How long do they go from walking to running? It's in no time. It's in no time. And so that's the beauty behind this process. You come in, you know nothing. It's all a foreign language. We're just crawling. And within a few weeks, it's starting to make sense. Next thing you know, you're walking. And just like you said, you've been dipping your cup in that river with $100. You're getting a little bit, saying thank you every day for the free money, going about it. And it just builds. And the running phase of this is when lives really begin to shift. You know, making an extra $1,000 a week is helpful. That's a big help. That making an extra $1,000 a day starts to shift the game. Making an extra $10,000 a day, you can go ahead and tell your wife she can quit her job too. Hey, babe, we're going to go ahead and be home with the family now. We don't have to go into work anymore. We get to be together. It's just, but it all started because you're willing to go down there, learn something new for the first time again, and stick your cup in the river. Don't be scared of the river. But the $40 billion opportunity will be there every day.
Opportunity, what an opportunity. I'm going to use 2 4-letter words right now. Free gift. Free gift. Yes, you can have a copy of my best-selling book, The Joy of Living, How to Slay Stress and Be Happy, the ebook version for absolutely free. All you have to do is send an email to me, Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, at barryshore.com. And in the heading, the subject line, just write free gift. It's as easy as that. This is a life-changing, life-enhancing opportunity. Barry at barryshore.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Free gift. Do it now. Take the action. Make it happen right now. Best wishes. Bye. I want to tell everybody to listen carefully what the words that Doc used. Shift! When you can shift from $100 a day, let's say, to $300 to $500 to $1,000, that first $1,000 a day doesn't ever go away. Okay, it might vary once in a while, but that causes a shift. Remember, we talked before about shift. Most people in life, even our listeners, and I love you, every single one of you, still you got to keep your F in place so the other stuff happens. You know, shift without the F, it's not the right way to live. And then when as Doc says, when you get to 10,000 in a day, and we're talking about verbalize, visualize, emotionalize, you're going to learn how to do that.
Well, there's some people listening right now that have probably never had $10,000 in their possession at one time, in a month, and in savings. And to take $10,000 in a day for doing your skill that you patiently do every day on a computer, it really shifts to a level of freedom. So what I teach, if you come and you learn and you're willing to listen and you master the skill and money will flow. But what I call it is unbridled freedom. Because now you can work anytime you want to. You don't have to go trade every day. You don't have to clock in. I can tell you when to take your lunch break. You can come in here at 11 o'clock market time and come sit down and watch till 11:15, take a double bottom, run it for 30 minutes, and you're done for your day. You just made 30%. I caught it on my lunch break. I'm out of here. So you really get the freedom behind it. And that's what I want. At the end of the day, I think we've all been doing our best on a grand lie in this life, and we've been deceived. And what we really have to do is live. We need to live. More living. We don't need to build more enterprises and more businesses and more all these things. We need to live. We need to experience and do. All right. So ultimately, if I'm successful in my mission over the next few years, the stock market that we're investing in won't even be there because half those people will be unemployed and at home and retired. We'll send them all home. We'll teach everybody how to make $1 million. But we got to live. Just get and live and experience life. We're on the same loop, the routine. We wake up at 5 a.m, make the coffee, get the kids ready, go to work, try to hide from your boss, talk to your coworkers, grab lunch, do that, get the snack, grab the beer, hit the clock. It's already Sunday again? Okay, rinse, repeat. Nobody's living. They're all surviving. Some survive better than others, but I want them to live.
Wait, let's pause here. Live free or die. That is the motto of a state in the United States of America. Happens to be New Hampshire. I was born and raised in a place called Massachusetts, Boston. Thankfully, when I was able to think, I left because of certain politics and such. However, as I mentioned to everybody around the world, you don't have to live in America. What you want is an American mindset. The American mindset is built on freedom. Live free or die. As, by the way, Doc just pointed out, dying is routine without benefit. It robs you. Now, by the way, Doc, during the break, I created a little acronym for your name. You want to hear your Doc name, your acronym?
I do. I'm on pins and needles.
Deriving opportunities creatively.
I love it. I love it. And so one of my favorite quotes, one of the Doc quotes is to create is to live, to consume is to die. In the end, we all die of consumption. And so as long as we're creating, we're living. Get out there and create. That's our job, is to create every day.
Right.
And we have the abundance of means and methods to do it. Create, baby.
So I want to mention to people that don't think about this much. I do, Doc does, and a number of people who are very successful in life. I didn't just say in business, in life. Unless you can translate your business success into your living success, you're not fully utilizing what business is really about. And that is the specter, the ogre of inflation. And I'm just going to mention it in the next 25 seconds. Inflation is a killer. Inflation robs you. Inflation is built into the system. And unless and until you understand what it is, how to overcome it, never be afraid of it. And that what Doc has teaches us how to battle inflation in a most wonderful way. You will be successful. Otherwise, inflation will eat you up. It will consume your hard-earned money as opposed to your fun-earned money. Fair enough, Doc?
That's 1,000%. It's consuming them every day. Those that aren't investing, whether you have a 401k, if you don't have any kind of investment, if the only thing you have is income, you're losing in a bad way. It doesn't matter about your home or your real estate that you think you have, you're losing in a bad way. If you have a 401k, you just cut your loss in half is all you did. That's all you did. Inflation's still outrunning your 401k. I promise you, no matter what gains you think you've seen in the last 4 years, inflation is outrunning the deflationary value of your dollar. That $500,000 or $2 million or $5 million 401k you think that looks real pretty until you found out that the dollar's worth 80 cents on the dollar and you actually only got $1 million. And now you can't buy a loaf of bread with the $5 million that you had. The markets, the world, the finance that we're in a giant Ponzi scheme. We've been robbing Peter to pay Paul for 100+ years. Eventually somebody's going to ask for the debt to be paid. And so we just take care of ourselves by constantly investing. We make money with the growth cycles. And when we're done, we take the free money, we say thank you, and we stick it in our pocket. We don't leave it in the markets. We invest in physical assets, gold, silver, diversify. You're going to want to look into a little crypto. We have new emerging technology. Everybody said the internet wasn't going to work. We see where we're at today. Don't sit here and say crypto's not going to be something. It may take 5 more years. It's coming. They're not going to be done. Nobody put billions of dollars behind something to give up. So you diversify and just stay ready. And no matter what it is, there's an opportunity. Good or bad, there's an opportunity.
Remember what DOC stands for. Deriving opportunities creatively. We'll be right back after this brief message. We sponsors that love us. We wouldn't have them on if we didn't think they're worth of your time and attention. Don't go away. There's more DOC on the other side. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. You know, good looking, so I was looking for and finding the good. We found good and abundance. Same as Will Cooper. We really know him as Doc Holliday, the gunslinger. What he's slinging, though, is the ability for you, the individual, to dip your cup in the great river, the always flowing river called the S&P 500. Dip your cup in. Remove some for yourself, say thank you, and go about your day. And keep doing that and building on a skill that will pay you benefits far greater than anything you could have imagined in your work life. And this applies to people all over the world. Doc, we're in our final segment here. You said you have a couple of juicy tidbits you want to say. Now, remember, everybody, you don't have to write anything down. It's all going to be in the show notes. And you really, really want to share this show with at least 5 people. You want to do 50 or 100? That's great. And you should, because you love people. But 5 people at least, that way we can touch more than 2 million people around the world with this message. It's all about money, M-U-N-Y. And why does Barry say money, M-U-N-Y? Because it makes you laugh and it's fun. And that's what Doc is talking about, health, wealth, and fun. So Doc, you said a couple of juicy tidbits. Go ahead, baby. Let's hear those. I can hear them sizzling on the barbecue right now.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be good. And you're going to want to replay this section a few times. But real quick, like you said there in the introduction after the break, this is about being a little better every day. And that becomes exponential growth in a few months, in a few years. You stick your cup in that river now, and it feels like $100. I've been at this 8+ years, and I still blow my mind every week. There's still a trade that goes down, an opportunity that happens, money that's made quicker and in larger sums than I still ever thought possible. The opportunities, they're endless. They're truly endless. The market is limitless. I tell everybody, life's a game of zeros. Just don't be one. We keep sitting here and stick our cup in the river. Now the juicy tips. Now, for anybody that's already, they've heard of the stock market before, this is not their first conversation around the stock market. They've reached out, they've gone and tried to research, and some of them have already taken on that demon on their own. and had some success or had some failure. And, when you go to the internet or you go to start researching this topic, there's so much chaos and confusion around the matter of how to successfully navigate the markets for profit. And there are a million ways to skin the cat. Okay. I'm a very simple person. Those that end up finding my website and stuff later down the road will see how simple I am. I tell all my students, be like Forrest Gump. Just keep it simple, and come in here and learn to play stock market ping pong with us. And if you be like Forrest Gump, you don't have to worry about money no more. And I said, that's good. One less thing. Just keep it simple. And so in the juicy side of this is that, if, like I said earlier in the feed here, if you just learn the power of a double bottom at your 11 o'clock lunch break, you could change your life. We just learned the power of a double bottom. And, we've got little silly phrases and acronyms and these things as well. But I tell everybody, double bottoms and double tops will double your money. Right? And that's really it. That's really it. If you'll come down to it, and if you'll take time to study the chart, get to know what that means, you can go Google it, you can go research it, you can do all this on your own and go look at what zero data expiration options. Now, if you go ask the experts, or specifically a financial advisor, and you told them you wanted to know about a zero data expiry option, they'd all laugh at you and tell you to get out of here. That's a gambler's paradise. That's not for investments. That's not for traders. That's not for making money. And I'm sitting here telling you, well, they're going to move $40 billion this way in about 6 hours. And if you buy the double bottom, you can double your money on it. And it's going to happen in about 45 minutes. And you can tell them when and where it's going to happen. But if you'll just go learn double tops, double bottoms, double your money. All right. And all that means is the market is coming to a level of support, aka double bottom. We're back to an area that they bought it up before. All we can assume is they're going to do the same thing again and buy it up one more time. We've come to a top. They didn't want to go any higher. I'm going to assume they don't want to go any higher yet again, and we take the double top. Though, it's about memory. The river, it's a river. It has to flow in the bank, support to resistance. We get our little Flexolap ping pong paddle out, and we play ping pong between support and resistance. Everything in between the banks of that river, Barry, is free money. It's free money, $40 billion worth right there in that river. It has to stay in the banks. It can't break out. Okay. Big storm comes. The market drops 3% in a day. The big storm comes. Oh my God, watch out. The river's going to wash right back into the banks of it tomorrow, and it'll go again. That's how it works, because it's a river. And so if we play by the rules, we stay in the banks, we stick our cup in, we fill it up. Double tops, double bottoms, double your money. All right. Beat it in your brains. Go have fun. That is a juicy, juicy tip. That's the simple way to approach a complex market.
Let's do the following. Again, everything is in the show notes about how to contact Doc, how to understand the most important insight that we've gained today, which in my humble opinion is freedom. Freedom to live well. The genius of the United States of America is it's built on individual freedom. It's also built on the capitalist system. The capitalist system is the greatest system in the world for bringing people out of poverty and enabling them to live well, live free or die. What Doc is sharing with us today are opportunities that are documented. How you like that one, Doc?
I like it.
Documented on a regular basis, and you can see what a double bottom looks like. You can see what a double top looks like merely by charting, using a straight edge.
Absolutely. Everything we do is with a straight line. So everybody that goes to study the markets, they get 100 indicators and the EMAs and the volumes and all these things. None of that. Blank chart, just the chart. Remove all the FUD, remove all the noise. That's lies. That's what the system gave you. Just buy the double bottom. Just wait, buy the double bottom. You're going to like the way you look. Right.
Just wait. And remember the insight is VVE, verbalize, which Doc has done so well. And I truly am appreciative, Doc, for your time today to share with our audience. Verbalize, visualize. If you anything that you come away with today and that you're going to be able to share with friends and family is, it's a river. You hear that, everybody? It's a river.
It's a river of abundance. It flows every day, nonstop. And here's the thing to think about, folks, for everybody out there. Until that river stops, all is good. Once that river stops, nothing else matters. I promise you. If all of a sudden the S&P 500 collapses and that goes to zero for whatever reason, no other financial river will be running either. So this is the simplest way to get in to an opportunity to, like you said, freedom. It is. Take it on your terms. There's people. Every student starts off doing this as a hobby. It's a side hustle. All right. Or I have some retired individuals that are fortunate enough to do this and as their second income in their retired life. But most people are in their 30s and 40s and they're having to work for a living. So this is a side. This is that $100 a day in the cup on a lunch break. But over time, that knowledge and that skill, see, knowledge is power. And the more you know, the freer you become. And now all of a sudden, it gets really hard to take all those orders from your boss when you know you could go grab that double bottom and make $1,000 right now and not have to listen to that anymore. You know, you can. It's also really freeing to know that no matter if you have a great career and you got a layoff or something happens, I've got this skill set. You know, one of my great students, his favorite thing is to say is that I now know that if everything went wrong in my life, if I just had $5,000 in a laptop, I'd be fine. And he said that's a real comforting feature for me to know right now that that's all I have to have. If I just had $5,000 in a laptop, I'm okay. And he said that's my life insurance. That's my safety net. That makes me feel good at night. And that's the power of knowing skills, having a skill set.
Doc, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm loath to say the words I'm about to say. However, we're coming to a close on our time together. I have 3 quick questions for you. You ready?
Fire away.
Number 1, will you come back again?
Absolutely. Love to.
Thank you. Number 2, Doc Holliday, Will Cooper. You have only 80 seconds to answer this question. What is your most fervent desire?
In a dream world would be to help free as many people as I can from what I call the slave check, those that are trapped to a paycheck, to help as many people that are already working hard every day doing the best they can have an opportunity to do a little better by just sticking their cup in the river. You're already out there hustling, you're already grinding, you're already doing it. Let's just make your effort pay you for what you're doing. Let's get you free. So my biggest desire is to free as many people as we can. My goal this year is to take 226 people that have never traded before in their life and make 226 new $1 million traders for 2026. That's my goal, a minimum of 226 new $1 million zero to hero traders. I think we can outdo it. I really do. I took a lady last year, lost her job from Doge, government cuts, going through all kinds of family issues. She had $5,000 account when she started. Within 3 months, she was making 5 figures a day, Barry. Okay, we're changing lives for those that show up. So I love it.
That's your fervent desire. You want to make 26 millionaires in 26.
226.
226, even better.
That's right.
Number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 523,917 people around the world?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1, 2, 3.
Great big hug. Thank you, my friend.
Everybody, you're listening to The Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy, and our amazing guest, Doc Holliday, Will Cooper. And you're learning about living in freedom because you've tuned in, because that's exactly what the 3 fundamentals of life are all about. Your life has purpose. You lead a purpose-driven life, enables you to go mad. Mad stands for make a difference, live free or die. And the third is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms, such as WWW, what a wonderful world, smile, seeing miracles in life every day. Or as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life, create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking. Listen to Doc, rethinking, enabling all to excel. And use 4-letter words. Remember the 4-letter words we use, of course, we live in the positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant world. Love, life, hope, play, free, gift, swim in the river, swim, and tell the world to F you. That's right, after the show, point your finger, twinkle in your eyes, smile in your face, point your finger and say, F you, everybody. Remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Say, where'd you get that? Say, I listen to Barry Shore. Wait till I tell you about money and the river flowing. You got their attention. Now you can share. Remember, this show is for you. It's yours. You can listen again and again. I urge you to listen to it one more time and then a third time. By the time you listen to the third time, you have shifted your life. And now a prayer from wonderful Doc and Barry. Go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Doc, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.